What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we have the new Sylvan Watcher Crypt open, so I thought I would just jump on, play through it real quick, see what we are facing with this new faction crypt. It's always kind of exciting for me when content like this does come out because it's new stuff that we can play and progress through. I'm not really a big fan of a lot of the hard dungeons and stuff they've been releasing, the Hydra, things like that, because it's, I don't know, just content I don't really wind up engaging with a lot of the times. And I really wish we had more progression style content such as Faction Wars, maybe a new style Nightmare campaign in the game, or even something like Doom Tower. I think Doom Tower is desperately in need of some additional bosses and maybe some new rotations just to kind of spice things up a little bit. I think it's a great piece of content Plarium's kind of missing out at this point. But it's kind of cool. We got the new faction, so it means we can get more faction rewards. Now, if you didn't get Lydia already, it means you're going to have to go through this one as well to get her. If you're at that point in the game, though, it's not really something you're probably worried about just yet. I just kind of wanted to come in and see what it was like, see what my champions were going to be able to do here. I don't have a whole lot of Sylvan Watcher champions, as we'll see here in just a minute. I'm going to go into champs I'm using in this run here, kind of show the gear and everything else that we're using to go through. But we went ahead and did our 5 3v3 arena matches just so we could get our extra keys. That way we'd have enough keys to go as far as we possibly could here. You can see these stages are going through really quickly. If you've been playing the game for a while, you have some decent gear, and you've already got some Sylvan champions that you've acquired and built up, you should be able to blast through these first few stages pretty easily. I believe you can go through stage 10 on this first day if you have your extra keys. It's probably going to take 2 more resets to go through and finish, get through stage 21. But the cool thing is, too, we do get some new rewards for this. And actually, there's already some, if you had finished Faction Wars prior to this, there's going to be some extra rewards already available for you when this crypt does open. And then there's some really nice things we can pick up, even for a later game account. We get some soul stones, a couple of void shards, some silver. So that's always exciting. We do get a couple of the mid-tier soul stones, which can be 3 to 6, which we're going to pull later on at the very end of the video to see if we can get anything decent. First boss, stage 7, like I said, these are going to go through pretty quickly. The only way you're going to really struggle with this is if you don't have any champions in this faction, or if you've really just started playing the game. And if you're a newer player a month or 2 into the game, you're really not worried about faction war progression just yet. You should be doing it every day, trying to get the glyphs that you can with whatever you've got. But for the most part, early in the game, you're not going to be worrying about a later game faction crypt like this just being added in. So just go in and, try your best to see how far you can push, get some of those 1-star glyphs early, if you're a newer player with the game here. But this is going about as I expected. These guys are just kind of blasting through here. Even Ornn is able to take these waves out with 1 shot, which is pretty cool. So stage 9, 3 more stars. We're going to go through stage 10 here and get 3 more stars. And basically get 30 new stars for our extra Faction War rewards here. So this will play through here. Again, even stage 10 here is a pretty easy go through. We're even using a level 50 here, which we'll talk about a little bit once we get into the champion builds. But yeah, so far really no challenge here. We got through that fairly easy. Didn't take too long, only a couple of minutes. But I figured it'd be cool to come run through here. And you can see we still got quite a ways to go before we get to the end. Got to pick up an epic and a legendary book there as well at some point once we do get through those additional stages. Maybe we'll do a video for those as well, just kind of showing us go through there, see if we have any trouble. And we've got our new rewards here. We're going to go ahead and grab these. Got a chicken even. I wish this was a 5-star chicken that late in the score, but we'll see what we get from these soul stones in just a minute after we go through our champions. Alright, so we did our Sylvan Watcher keys for this first opening of this crypt. Got through stage 10 with all of the 3 stars pretty easily, which that's pretty much how I figured it would go. I don't think we'll be able to do it fully next week. We're probably going to need 2 more rotations to get to 21 and see if we can go ahead and 3-star the whole thing, but at least we've got some cool rewards. And now I just thought we'd take a look at some of the champions I'm using here. And oddly enough, in my account, I do not have a lot of Sylvan Watchers. I have not been fortunate enough to get a lot of them. It's really not surprising given how my Shardlight goes. Got a video coming up. I'm going to be talking about the 2x Sacreds and how well that went. But so we got White Dryad Nia here. She's actually one of the better champions within this faction, and she's a pretty good ally protect. She's got a really, really strong kit with the decreased speed on the AoE. On the A1, she's got this cleanse here with the heal, and then also if the target of the skill is not this champion, it decreases the cooldown of all the target skills by 2 turns, which is pretty awesome. So it's kind of like a mini reset if that goes on somebody else. Then, of course, she's got the ally protection strengthen, and then a little bit of extra healing here with her passive. So pretty strong tank champion. I actually did put her in Heaven Cast so that we can get a little bit more chance to get this decreased speed to land on the A1 since it does hit everybody. And as I usually do in Faction Wars, I didn't really throw her in my best gear. I had some stuff I'd already rolled up, so just kind of put it on her. And we have fairly decent build still. 365 accuracy is more than enough for Faction Wars. If we wanted to use her somewhere else, say like Hydra, we'd probably have to pick some of these numbers up. Pretty good resistance. Defense is probably a little high. We probably could have put more HP in there, but it's just kind of the way the gear rolled. I think these were defense gloves. I didn't have any HP gloves. And they had some accuracy on them, so that's just kind of what we did. With her, we don't have any masteries on any of these champions really done yet, or books. I haven't really put too many of them together, except for my Ornn here. I've actually made 2 of him just to kind of goof around and have a little bit of fun in some of the hard mode dungeons with the poison, using him with the regen. Obviously, when he first came out, he was a little busted, and Plarium nerfed him, of course, so he couldn't solo a couple of those harder dungeons, but he's still a pretty fun champion to use. And I just built 2 of them just to have a little fun and goof around. We've got a Pathfinder Kate here, who I think was part of a fusion way back. And for a long time, she was one of the only champions I had in this faction. So I went ahead and I had 60'd her. I think it was part of a champ training. That's one of the things. When I do champ training now, I've got so many champions normally. I'm getting close to that 400 that I just have to wind up pulling people out of the vault and leveling them up just to get those champ training points. So we actually went ahead and 6-starred her. I've got a 2-star awakening on her as well. Kind of the same thing here. You know, we've got her in this basic attack set. Just have a couple pieces of that still in the account, but I kind of just put her in whatever gear I had just to throw it together. I don't know if these will be good enough stats to get through like Faction War 21 with her, but we're going to find out. And I think we do have a couple of her masteries done so far. We actually did book her. Rare books are pretty easy to come by these days on the main accounts. And we just give her some accuracy, hopefully, so she can hit this block buffs on the A1. It's 50% chance, so fairly low there. You know, you get a little bit extra here from the books, but not a great chance to land that skill. And then she's got a cooldown on each target by 2 turns, which is not too bad. So some interesting skills she has in her kit for a rare champion, not bad. And then Perfect Veil gives her a little extra survivability there. And then we've got Mistrider Dathy, who I think I will go ahead and 6-star him to get him ready to go for later Faction Wars, because he is one of the, I think the only Sylvan I have who's got the AoE decreased defense, which is pretty awesome. And we're going to need that definitely for the later stages of Faction Wars. So that kind of brings me to who I'm going to work on next. I don't really know. I've got this Create in the blue who seems pretty cool. He's got a lot of freeze in his kit, which is interesting. Increased speed is always good. I think Dudan is going to be someone we build because we could probably use him in Shogun as well as Faction Wars. So I always try to build champions I'm going to have multiple places to use them in, especially with Faction Wars, because a lot of the times you're going to have a champion that's going to be great for Faction Wars, but you're not going to use them anywhere else. And that's why you kind of try to get away with using them at level 50 with some good gear on them. We've got Kellen the Shrike, who could be good for some damage. And then I also do have End of Moonbeam, who I actually do have on my free-to-play account. 6-star there with, I think, a 5-star Awakened, Crushing Rend on him. And he absolutely slaps. So he might be worth it if we do find ourselves lacking in the damage department. He's got a great kit also. If you're looking for a champion for Clan Boss, if you're struggling in Clan Boss a little bit, you need a good DPS. He can actually do it for you. He's got a decreased defense single target here on the A1. He's got a 3-time random hitter here on the A2, which can increase the duration of debuffs, so you can extend those poisons if they're up on the Clan Boss, and any other debuffs that might be on there. Then he's got a leech on the A3. And he's got this passive here that increases his speed for each enemy under a leech debuff, which isn't really going to give you too much unless you're using him in dungeons, but really solid Clan Boss champion as well. So we may go ahead and build him. Probably have a little bit better gear on this account anyways. And that's really it for our Sylvans. We have the new rare that we got here through the G-Nut Fusion, and he was the only rare I had left. I missed 3 events, I think, altogether. But I still got the fusion done, so that kind of saved me being able to get that epic from the one event. But so far, that's it. I would have liked to get an extra copy of that epic they had. He seems like he's got a pretty good kit, but that's kind of what we're working with here for the Sylvan Watchers. So we'll wait, and I guess next week we'll see how much further we can run in it, if we can keep on 3-star and everything. And between now and then, I'll probably bring one of these 50s up to 6-star. We could always maybe drop one of these Ornns out and bring in somebody else. or bring in somebody for Pathfinder Kate once it gets more difficult. We'll see. But actually, honestly, running these two guys in the regen gear, they're pretty tanky. They're probably going to be able to get through most of the waves pretty easily. The bosses, as usual, are going to be the big challenge in Faction Wars. But I did mention we got those really nice rewards there toward the end. We did get 2 of these middle Soulstones, so I figured we'd go ahead and rip some Soulstones. Why not? Because I made a video the other day kind of talking about this, and I've heard people say, oh, you know, the Soulstones have been around for a while. It should be plenty of time to get some good ones, and I get it, but if you watch a lot of those content creator videos where they pull like 100 Soulstones, they never get anything. It's kind of not always the case, but let's see if we can actually get lucky. On these, we can get a 3 to 6 rare, epic, or legendary. I'm guaranteeing these are going to probably roll crap, but we are going to at least get 300 of these coins. So see if we can get anything cool here before we jump off the video. Sometimes we have a little bit better luck. Oh, oh boy. I think I actually do have Tyrant. I don't really know if this will be great for him, but at first I thought this was going to be Kymar, and I'm going to be like, oh, the game's just trolling me because I don't have Kymar, but that's pretty cool. I'm sure we can find some use for that. I've got a Tyrant built on my... Oh, wait, back-to-back? You got to be... Oh, nice. Okay, see, this is why we roll stuff and we open stuff on the video, because it's always going to give us a little bit better luck there when we do that. So we actually have Morty with a 1-star already, so that's great. We can go ahead and get that on him there. That's pretty awesome. Going to have some fun with him now. One of my favorite champions. He's actually the first legendary I pulled on this account way back in the day was Morty McCab. So we'll go ahead and see what we can do with him there. And I guess we'll go ahead and put this 4-star on Tyrant. Not quite sure where we're going to use that. It's been a while since I actually used Tyrant for anything, so I really don't know what we're going to do with that there, but we'll see. I'm sure we can find something. This is kind of what we've got sitting around in stores. Sell this one. It's not worth it. Of course, we've got all the big major Void legendaries, Krizia 3-star, that we will never pull, of course. So that's unfortunate, but I do have one for Newt. I actually saw it in the shop the other day. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and buy it and get the 1-star at least, because I know I'm going to hopefully finish the fusion. So we'll be able to put that on him there, which would be pretty cool. Man, they're really pushing this Soulstone thing. It's crazy. I guess that's the new, like I said the other day, the new whale thing is get them to buy all the Soulstones, and they've got the tournaments and the events now for the Soulstones. So, well, we got 2 good pulls there at the end, which is pretty awesome. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Good first look at the Sylvan Watcher Crypt. So, as always, if you guys have any questions about anything you saw in the video, feel free to leave it down below. I'll get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.